Well, it's dull and rainy again, so the genset is running, and I thought after the last couple of automatic maintenance runs, which only run for 30 minutes, it had terminated those properly and remained in auto start mode. So I thought, well, maybe the oil pressure sensor has come good by itself, because things like that can happen around here apparently. Turns out, no, that's not the case, because I went out there and was watching the thing, and I stepped around the corner just to check the fuel, and it said, oh, that's it, shut down. So I did an immediate restart. So press the stop button to clear the error, then press the start button to start it, and then put it back in auto mode. So we'll see how long it runs this time before it stops, or if it goes the full distance. Meantime, I shall work on this until I get too hot and sweaty. I didn't mention it before, but my use of 12 metres of this stuff was fairly efficient. I only had 4 pieces like that left over. I reckon that's pretty far from wasteful, so I'm quite happy with that. And I'm getting further along with cleaning this up. If I clean up to there, that will be far enough. But the genset's finished its run, so I think I might just go and relax in the lounge room again now. I've been preparing my next piece of timber for this jig, and I've marked up the one, and I figure, well, I don't really need to mark up that one, because what I can do is just cut them to the appropriate widths to match that one over there, then clamp all 3 together. So I have that on one side, that on the other side, and this one in the middle. And I've yet to check out on the cumulative error to find out how well these line up. Yeah, there's definitely some cumulative error there, so might just have to use this one as a template. Yeah. So that simplifies things. We just remove the tape with the measurements that don't match up. So there's a waste of effort. But you can see where I've been working here. It's been raining on the floor, so I think it's time to call it a day over here. Well, I'll set up a guide fence for my cut here. I'm just going to run the jigsaw along there, pressed up against that rail, and get myself a piece I cut my 2 strips out of. Well, we've come to the conclusion that a jigsaw is not the right tool for this. I couldn't get a straight cut, these guys couldn't get a straight cut, even when we were using a fence like that. So, back to the drawing board on this one. Bit damp out. I think the sky is broken, bits of it keep falling off. Since midnight we've had, just let me check. Oh, hang on, that's my fingerprint. Since midnight we've had 142.5 millimetres of rain, and it's 11:02 AM. So, yeah, this is supposed to be the dry season. And it ain't working. I think the sky's broken. So I'm not going to wander across there in the rain to do my thing. I did have some more ideas on what I can do for making my jig for mounting up those aluminium pieces. I think I might use one of my carefully hoarded sheets of 6mm MDF that I bought from Australia, because they're 900mm by 600mm. So if I use the 900mm side, I can get 2 straight sides off one. So I think I'll do that. But not today, it's just too damn wet out there. And the hourly weather forecast between now and midnight, I think doesn't go below 97% chance of rain for each hour. So it's going to be a big total for the day, I think. It was a dull day yesterday. We actually had more than 160 millimetres of rain. So yeah, it was wet and dull, and consequently the genset needed to run because we didn't have enough sunlight coming in to charge things up. So it ran for about half an hour and then stopped with its fault. I came over here about half an hour later and cleared the fault by pressing the stop button and the start button, and I put it back into auto and it stopped after a couple of minutes. Okay, so then I did the stop to clear the fault and start, and just didn't put it in auto, just put it on start and let it run, and it ran for I think yeah, probably about 10 minutes. Then it did a fault stop again, so then I pressed the stop and the start button again to restart it, and it then ran for about another hour and a half before I decided, okay, we're at 90% charge, and I put it on auto, and I was going to go inside and use the electronic to tell it to do a shutdown, and by the time I was approaching that, a couple of minutes had elapsed. This electronic had already decided to shut it down, so it had done its 2-minute cool down and it shut down. Now I thought, right, this oil pressure, apparent oil pressure problem I have, it's one of two things. It's either the oil pressure sensor, which is going to be a bit of a bear to get a replacement for. I think it's going to cost me probably about $150 Australian by the time I get it here, and it's something I can buy online if I was in Australia for probably less than 50, and in the US for probably less than 30 US dollars. But yeah, so I don't want to buy that, get it here, replace it, and then discover the problems actually with the control unit here, because it has a problem where the oil pressure readings shown here jump wildly all over the place, and I figure that what's happening is sometimes it jumps too low and this control unit says, whoop, oil pressure warning, better shut down. So I figure there's probably supposed to be some smoothing in there. If it's not just a faulty oil sensor, there may be some smoothing of the values, like averaging it over 5 seconds or something, which is not happening. So I actually sent an email to Deep Sea Electronics saying, please tell me which one of these things it's likely to be. Is it the oil sensor or the control unit? And they've asked for a bunch of diagnostics, so hence the computer connected up to it, and I'm going to get some diagnostics out of it. Well, I gathered all the required information from the genset. I was going to head back to the house and upload it there so I can send it off to the guy at Deep Sea Electronics. But I foolishly forgot to bring an umbrella. I think I might have to wait a while. We thought we were getting near the end of the work for these two guys, but yesterday during our downpour there was enough rain that there was rain coming out of a light fitting just outside our back door. And I thought, oh, that ain't right. There's rain getting into the roof there somewhere. So the next task is to see if they can find the cause of that and put a stop to it. Because that's there we go again. More generally, there's a problem with the rain coming down between Lisa's house and ours, and In theory there's 100% cover there, but it's making it through somewhere, and it's quite wet out there at times, so I'd like to put a stop to that. And the tanks are full. That's the overflow. Well, I brought the notebook over to run more diagnostics on this thing. Haven't really learnt anything new. Need to go away now and look at the data sheet for the oil pressure sensor. Make sure that it's a VDO type 10, or type is VDO 10 bar, because that's what's set in this configuration software. So let's go away and see if the Deutz model number is compatible with that. All the wooden doors and the door frames, including the one for the lounge room in the house, have all now been repainted from mud brown to what I would describe as a cream caramel type colour. Yeah, it's a bit nicer. It means we're running low on jobs for the guys now. Well, Friday's come around again, so I need to give you a wrap-up video, or need to wrap up the video for this week. Firstly, I'll give you a 5-second snippet of what the oil pressure readouts were doing. So as you can see, they are jumping around a bit, and if they jumped below, I think it was 19 psi, that would trigger a shutdown. So eventually got the answer from the guy at Deep Sea Electronics saying, well, controller's okay, it's either wiring connection or sensor no good. So examining the wiring, that all looks fine, and connections, so I've ordered a new sensor. That's, yeah, cost me a bit over 40 Australian dollars to buy it from eBay. Then the cost for shipping from Australia, because I get my eBay stuff delivered to a friend in Australia, then has to ship it up for me, doing all the necessary paperwork, which is a bit of a pain. So then it gets up here and gets delivered to the post office, where they say, yep, if you pay this amount of duty you can collect it. So yeah, I might get out of it for 120 if I'm lucky. 120 Australian dollars. Yeah, so then it's a matter of changing it over and hoping, like Glory, that it actually fixes the problem. If it doesn't, that'll be a right pain. Yeah, so that's one thing that's on the go. The other thing is the guys actually finished up yesterday. They finished all the jobs we had for them, and so now I've packed up to move on to the next adventure. Talking with Jabida, she tells me it's 3 months and 1 week we had them working for us. So I think, wow, okay, yeah, they got a bit done during that time. The biggest one being that gazebo. But yeah, there was a lot of other stuff they did as well, obviously, in that amount of time. You'd think it'd be horrendously expensive, but labour is cheap. Like those two guys together worked out at $40 a day, which is twice the unskilled labourer rate. So they relatively are doing fairly well. Well, okay, still not big bucks, but in that they also get full catering. So Jabida's looking forward to not having to cook every day for them. I think they must like her food because they keep coming back. But yeah, it's all the food and drink, and she also, one of the things that really I'm not happy with is the fact that when you have workers here, as well as supplying food and drink, you supply them with cigarettes. And my attitude to that is, hang on, why am I trying to poison my friends? That's not right. But that's the done thing here, apparently. If you didn't supply them with cigarettes, they'd be upset. So, And there's a sparrow checking out to see whether they can make a new home in the gazebo, I guess. Or at least we'll have easy access there to discourage them once they start making nests. But yeah, it's time to wrap this up.